Welcome to paradise. Today we're exploring Jamaica's Grand Palladium and Lady Hamilton Resort. From stunning beaches and swim-up bars to hidden corners that you simply won't see in the brochures, we'll take a look at all the different aspects of this hotel to see whether or not it deserves your time and effort to make the visit. So stay tuned to see whether or not this tropical giant really does live up to the hype as being the best hotel in Jamaica.
So this is the reception area when you first arrive. This will be where you're checking in. Only guests allowed beyond this point. So go over here. As you can see, this place is quite colonial in look. It really is quite amazing. It was only built in 2008, so it's not an old structure. But the way that they've constructed it is very, very palatial. You can see we've got marble everywhere. This does feel really quite grand. And you can get a glimpse in the distance there of the children's pool. So let's check out those pools, because that's one of the key differences to this hotel versus a lot in the Caribbean. A lot of hotels I've stayed at, they've had very small pools and they're really focusing on the beachfront. But here they do have a huge pool, which does have a huge bar in it, which is always very popular. But coming down to the pool area, which you can see is very central, right by reception. We've got the children's play area, so this is a play pool just for the kids, which is nice if you've got a young family, to have slides and an area that's not too deep, nice and shallow. If I take a quick look back to reception here, you can see how grand that building is. And it goes all the way along, and we'll take a look at the restaurants later, but a lot of the restaurants are located on that upper level. But you can see this building's massive. It goes on for quite a lot longer as well, because the Lady Hamilton is on that side of the estate and the Grand Palladium is on that side. So if you're wondering whether to book into one or the other, it's basically the same property. It just depends on what you want to pay for. But this is the children's pool. You can see it's quite early in the morning, so no children in it just yet. It will be mayhem later, no doubt, but it's quite a nice area. Good if you're coming with some younger people and you want something for them to do. Always good to have a special play area. But if you're an adult and you're looking for something to do, well, clearly you can do some sunbathing. And we've got some towels on the beds here already. People like to reserve the beds wherever they go. You can see there are lots and lots of beds, and importantly, we've got these sunshades, because if you don't get a bit of shade, you're in a bit of trouble later in the day. Now this pool wraps all the way around the building, so this is just the side area. You can see the size of it. There's some people cleaning the pool out at the moment, and if we take a walk around the front, you can see how big this thing is. And I think this really does differentiate this hotel from most of the rest in the Caribbean, because they do tend to have very small swimming pools. And if you're like me and you prefer a pool to the beach, not really a big fan of sand, then I'm wanting a nice pool to relax in. Now the great thing about this pool is it's got two different areas. You can see here there's a wall down the middle segmenting it. Now this part is pretty shallow, comes up around about chest height maybe. And you can do aqua aerobics and various things in this pool and just have a play, throw the ball. And in this section, it's a tiny bit deeper, not much. And you can see there we've got a pool bar. Now, it looks pretty quiet at the moment, but during the day, we have a DJ here playing lots of really loud music, and that bar is absolutely rammed. All around there will be hundreds of people sitting and drinking. And one of the things about this hotel is that it's all inclusive, so all the drinks are included. So that means that once you're at that bar, you can stay there and have unlimited rum, mojitos, red stripe, whatever you like. So this is the pool area, so just walk around the front to give you a sense of perspective. You could literally get probably 1,000 people in here, really massive. I haven't seen it that busy, which is nice. I haven't really seen the beds that busy either, which is good. I'm filming this in August, which is it is the rainy season, so we have weather like this all morning, and then usually around about 2 or 3 o'clock there will be a little bit of rain. But let's take a walk down onto the beach, because this property has its own private beach. So just have a quick look back towards the building there. You can start to get a sense of the scale. You can see some of the accommodation over there. That's the Lady Hamilton side. It wraps all the way around, so you can see it goes out onto that spit. And then we've got the buildings here in the centre, which house a lot of the restaurants and the bars, and then we've got some of the properties for the Grand Palladium on that side. But let's take a look down onto the beach area. Now this beach wraps all the way around, so you can see it goes that way. And as with most Caribbean beaches, they're not hugely deep. So you can see it doesn't go out that far, it's relatively shallow. But that makes it quite private because you can't get thousands of people on it. Now we've got a nice shower here that you can wash all the sand off before you go up and have your lunch. And then we'll take a walk down this coastal path. If you follow my channel, you'll know that I like coastal walks. I like to have a little walk in the morning. It is early in the morning today. Good time to think about what's going on in the world, what's going on in your life, whether or not you're happy. You get a nice view here of the Caribbean, which is very pleasant. Waves pretty gentle, lapping up. Somebody cleaning up seaweed off the beach there, which is quite a nice feature. We go round, we can actually see some of the beach area. So I've got some beds here. Somebody's reserved some of these beds already. You can see, happens everywhere in the world. Plenty of actual beds, you don't have to sit on the sand. And then we've got, sorry, the camera's a bit wobbly because it's quite uneven on the beach. And we've got a nice little cove here, and then it opens out. We've got more beds, some cabanas with a cove, and I'll just walk up to this section here, which is the main section of the beach that people are sunbathing on. To give you a quick view of the Caribbean. Very nice. Some kids playing here already in the morning. And we'll walk around to this section, just to have a look at this part of the beach. But hopefully you're getting a flavour of this hotel. Everything is really close. So you've got the beach, you've got the pool, here's some of the accommodation, literally a stone's throw from the beach. And it wraps all the way around. We showed that earlier, but you can see all of those villas along there. And we've got this really nice private cove here. I think that's a big attraction of this hotel, is that because it does own so much land, essentially this is private property. You don't get any hawkers, nobody's walking along this beach trying to sell you anything. Essentially, it's very private. We'll go through and have a look at my room. Now, the great thing is that you get one of these wristbands when you get here, so you don't have to worry about having a key. It's all built into this, so you don't have to carry anything with you at all. Just activate by swiping it onto the door, if I can get it to work, and in we go. So the garden suite comes with 2 rooms. You have a living room and then a bedroom through there with also a bathroom. And the great thing is that both the living room and the bedroom have their own balconies. Now you can see here, there's plenty of seating space here. You could easily get 3 or 4 people onto that sofa. It's pretty large. And then we've also got another couple of chairs as well, table, and then a really large telly, which is always handy. And then outside here, you've got a bit of space. You can hang some stuff up if it's wet. You've got a couple of chairs. But to be honest, it's so hot out here that you probably wouldn't want to sit out here. But you can see some more of the accommodation. You get a feel for how spacious this place is. There's lots of greenery. The buildings are all well separated. There's another grand building similar to the one I just showed you that I'm in over there. Another one there. Some more accommodation around here. So there's plenty of rooms, but you don't feel hemmed in. It does feel quite nice and private. So we'll go back inside to the living room. Now I've been staying here for the last 7 days and haven't had any problems with noise from any of the neighbours, so it is well insulated. Lots of storage space in here for hang all your clothes. There's also a safe in there as well. The bathroom itself very well appointed, so we've got a separate shower in here with, you have all of the stuff on the wall, toilet, there's a sink, and then you've also got a bath. Not that I'm having a bath whilst I'm here. That's an adjoining door to another room that doesn't open. And then into the bedroom itself, this is a king size bed, which is huge, and another balcony and also another huge TV. So this balcony goes out onto the other aspect here. You can see, let's go out. I haven't actually been out of this balcony before, but let's step outside. So you can see there's another one of these covered walkways for walking around. If it's raining, you can go all the way down to where reception is, down there, and we've got lots of other buildings around. So that's basically the accommodation. Okay, so I'm now at the reception for the Lady Hamilton. So this is all part of the same building, but it's on the far left-hand side. You can see here people are arriving, and this will be where you check in if you're coming to the Lady Hamilton. The reason that I'm up here on the upper level is really to just have a look at some of the restaurants that are located on this level. So if we take a walk around, you can see they've got lots of different multiple themed restaurants. Lots of different types of cuisine. Before we have a look at that, I'll just have a bird's eye view of the pool from up here. It's a really amazing views, so close to the sea. So what they've done is they have 7 different restaurants, all themed with different types of cuisine. And the way it works is that you have to book them. So you just go to guest services and say, okay, I'd like to dine at this one at this time, and just book them up. And you're allowed to book 3 days in advance. So this first one that we're coming to here is El Dorado, which is the American steakhouse. So I ate here a few days ago, had a very nice filet, really nice. All the food here looked quite good. And next to that is Portofino, which is the Italian restaurant. So the way it works is you turn up to these 2 places, you go into the bar area and get yourself a complimentary cocktail or drink, and then you wait here to be called through into these restaurants. So let's have a look at El Dorado, which is the steakhouse. So you can see it's really quite nice. It's quite big, it goes a long way back. The way it works is that the starters, the appetizers, are in this bar in the center here. We'll go around these chains, you'll be able to see. So it's basically a salad bar type arrangement. They have everything out there. It's really quite nice. There's another bar in here, and then lots of tables and seats and some booths at the back here. That's where I was sitting a couple of days ago. So you can see it's quite nicely done, nicely themed, nice restaurant. If we take a look next door at the Italian, which I ate at on the first night that I was here, which served all the classics, pizza, pasta, everything that you want from an Italian. Let's have a look at Portofino. Slightly different the way it's been set up. Go through these glass doors. So you can see in here we've got more of an Italian theme. It's a similar style. So you've got the area where we have the appetizers behind the curtain, and then all of the tables in here. And then there is outdoor seating as well, but I'd actually recommend eating indoors because it's air conditioned and it gets really hot out there at night. So carrying on along this upper level, whoops, just tripped a little bit there. We come to some more restaurants, so you can get a feel for how large this place is just from me walking around it, because it's absolutely massive. So we've got another couple of restaurants here, which are the Asian and the Jamaican. So this is the Asian, and I ate here last night, and it covers both Japanese and Chinese food. So you can get sushi and things like sweet and sour chicken and teriyaki chicken, both on the same menu. And then on the other side, we've got the Jamaican restaurant. I think this looks like it's closed, but I can dive into the Chinese here because this door is open, just to give you a flavour as to what it looks like. There's lots of outdoor dining here, which is where I sat last night. It was a bit warm. And then indoors, we've got the food area here. We've got some Japanese style dining, if you like that, where you can sit and kneel with cushions at these tables, which is quite fun. So hopefully I'll do that in a couple of days' time. Don't know whether I want to kneel for my home meal, but we will see. And then we go across, there's the bar area here. So this is a common feature. When you come to these restaurants, you get given a drink and you wait to be called through. And then we'll go through into the Jamaican, Caribbean restaurants here. And you can see it's got a very different feel to it. And there we go. The hotel also has its own Indian restaurant. I won't try to pronounce that, but I'll leave you to make your own decision on that one. That's located on the ground floor overlooking the pool, so we just nip in here. It's obviously not open at the moment, but I'll give you a flavour as to what it's like. It's all outdoor seating, so really quite nice. There's a buffet style here where you can get your starters and then order your mains. And the nice thing about this is that it overlooks the pool, right next to the infinity pool, and obviously there's the beach as well. So some great views here. So let's go and take a look at the Mexican. La Adelita is the Mexican restaurant, which is right next door to the Blue Lagoon where you come for breakfast. The Mexican restaurant is also on the ground floor. It's also open air, and this is really quite nice. The food here, probably my favourite that I've been to so far. Relatively small area that you sit at, and here you order everything. So there does have a salad bar where you come in here and you can get some chips and various bits and pieces when it's obviously open later, and then you can order all of the usual type of Mexican fare. Really quite nice. They do some really nice cocktails here as well, if you like that sort of thing. Once again, overlooking the infinity pool. This is the Poseidon restaurant, which is the only one that isn't located in the central area. And the reason that it isn't is because it's overlooking this private cove bay. It's got amazing views. Now, this is predominantly a fish restaurant, but as you can see, it's quite classy, really quite nicely done. And all of the tables have these amazing views. And you'd be able to get a fantastic view of the sunset if you come down here at the right time of day. So I would definitely recommend booking into this restaurant, even if you're not a massive fan of fish, just for the views. In addition to all of the restaurants, it also has its own coffee shop, its own version of Starbucks. So let's go in here. Really nicely air conditioned in here. And you can see this has been done very nicely, very nice coffee shop arrangement. You can get all the different coffees, whatever you like here. You can actually get lots of different cocktail type coffees. You can see on the board, we have a look, there's lots of different cocktail coffees here where you can get some alcohol in there. And there's lots of sweet treats that you can have here, pastries and cakes, lots of things, some sandwiches at the bottom, just things to keep you ticking over. And this is all included in the complimentary section, so you don't have to pay extra for this, but it's a nice little feature to be able to have some coffee and a sweet treat and just basically change things up during the day. This is the Blue Lagoon restaurant, which is open for breakfast. Not every day, it's only open on certain days. But what's nice about it is all of the seating is outdoors and it overlooks the pool. So if we take a quick look into the breakfast area, you can see that they're still setting up. I'm quite early in the morning here, so they haven't actually started breakfast, but you can see we've got some scrambled eggs, fried eggs, all sorts of different eggs here. And we've got lots of pastries in the middle, so if you fancy a donut or a cake for breakfast, then you can have that if you like. We've got usual things: bread, toast, salad bar, some cooked meats and cheeses, more donuts and pastries if you're fancying that sort of thing in the morning. We've got some other items here, some sandwiches, lots of fruit available, good selection of fruit, which is great, and then some more fancier fruits and yogurts, and then we've got some cereal, cooked meats here if you like a full English style breakfast, bacon, sausages, hash browns, French toast, those sort of things. And then we've got finish up with some croissants at the bottom, and there will be some porridge in there later. The Blue Lagoon restaurant is my favourite place to come for breakfast when it is open. If you prefer buffet style eating, then the Mobay restaurant is open as a buffet every night. It's also the main place for breakfast. You can see it's really quite lively at the moment. Lots of people in here having breakfast, and you can get all of the things that you would expect: hot food, cold food, croissants, cakes, all of those sort of things. And alongside the Mobay restaurant, if this one's full, which quite often you come at lunchtime, if you want to come and have some food at lunch, then this does get very busy, as it does at breakfast. There is another one located just next door. Technically, this is the Grand Palladium side, and technically this one next door would be the the Lady Hamilton side. And we've got another buffet style restaurant here, which is open morning, noon and night, so you can get breakfast or lunch or dinner here if you like, that sort of thing. And this one's called the Negril, which is the area of Jamaica that we are in, and it's a very similar arrangement. So this is the gym and spa area. You can see we've got a pool here that you can swim in. There's actually a lazy river there. I haven't been on that, but it's meant to be quite good fun. And the gym itself is located here. All you have to do is sign in once a day. You have to sign a waiver when you first come, and it's a pretty well equipped gym, as you'll see. Got lots of different cardio machines, all sorts of different things that you can be getting up to. Never very busy. I've come here different times of the day, never found it a problem getting on anything. You can see they've got lots of TVs around, sports, and they've got a really well equipped weights gym as well. So we've got free weights and all sorts of different machines. So this place is great for just burning off those extra calories that you've used up when you're eating all of those cakes for breakfast. Now, as I've mentioned, this place is absolutely massive, and I'm now on the Lady Hamilton side of the estate. You can see some of the properties here with their balconies, And they have these covered walkways that you can travel around, and I'm heading to the Poseidon restaurant, which is at the far end of the property, which has the Watersports facilities as well down by the private cove here. So I'll just take a walk down to this private cove. You couldn't see it from the previous footage that I showed you because it's round the corner. It's across the bay. You can sort of see in the distance there's a boat. We'll have a look at that as we come down. But the reason I'm showing you this is just to give you a flavour of how large this property is. As I mentioned, it's got over 1,000 rooms. It's on 23 acres and it's a private estate. So if you're worried about security or any of those sorts of things coming to Jamaica, because sometimes you read things in the press and hear things and you get a bit concerned, this is super safe. Now, always have some cats here. There's a cat. Hello. I'll leave him, come and have a stroke of him later. But we'll carry on walking through to this cove and I'll show you the water sports. You can do various things here: paddleboarding, kayaking, wakeboarding, if you like that sort of thing, if you're any good. You can take dinghies out. You can go on those banana type things. Really quite nice and fun. So we'll have a look at the cove in a moment. So here we are down at the Watersports Cove. So I'm just coming down these steps. Again, this is a private beach area. You don't get anybody wandering past. There are no hawkers, people coming onto the beach to try to sell you watches or any of that type of thing. There's basically only the staff from the hotel here. You can see there are tons and tons of beds here, and also a bar. If you're wanting another bottle of Red Stripe, then you can grab one here. And on the far side of this beach, we've got all of the water sports activities. Got a game of chess here, if you fancy an outdoor game of chess. The pieces aren't up at the moment. So if we go over, we can see where the jetty is, where you can get on all of the water sports. Now, it's not open at the moment because I've come down very early in the morning to beat the crowds. And also, it's a bit embarrassing if you're walking around making a video and there's thousands of people here because they all want to get onto the screen. But you can see here that we've got such a really placid piece of water, so you don't have to worry about waves. We've also got a sectioned off area there. You can see some people are playing volleyball or badminton or something. Really peaceful, really nice, great views, very private. And then we've got some paddle boards here that have been turned over and got life jackets, so you don't have to worry about safety. Everybody gets life jacketed up. And then we've got some kayaks and other things, the fun, great big Mabel, so you can get pulled behind one of the speedboats, so you can get on the banana, which is just sitting underneath that, and a few other things like that. All you need to do is sign in, sign a waiver, and then you are off and running, and you will have whatever you want to do on that water to yourself. So what's my overall assessment of the Grand Palladium and Lady Hamilton Hotel in Jamaica? Well, quite frankly, this place is amazing. As you've seen from today's video, it is absolutely enormous. It covers a really huge site, so walking from one end to the other takes you an absolute age, and given the fact that it's really hot as well, you'll get a good sweat on doing that. But the rooms here are really good. The food here is good. Everything is all inclusive. The only downside is that it's quite expensive, so you obviously have to try to find a deal if you're going online. I've come during the rainy season in August, which quite frankly is fine because we're getting so much sun between sort of 7, 8 o'clock in the morning and 2 or 3 in the afternoon. And then it might rain or it might get a bit cloudy, but actually by that time you've probably had enough sun and you're wanting to do some of the other activities here. There's lots of things that I haven't managed to fit into this video you can do here. So many different wellness and spa treatments. There's tons of things for the kids to do. There's a kids club. There's lots of activities, and you can go out and do things in Jamaica. So I've been on a few day trips. Check out the channel because you'll be able to see some videos talking about those day trips, what to do in Jamaica, some really amazing things. So overall, it is a huge positive review from me, a big thumbs up. This place is amazing. If you can afford it, if you can find a deal and you can get to come here, I would definitely recommend it. It gives you a flavour of the Caribbean. You get the weather, you get the people who are amazing, some great times I've had chatting to some of the staff. I've done lots of things like water bike aerobics in the pool, those sorts of things. Really good fun. There's lots of other activities like that that you can do all day long. Definitely recommend it. It's a big thumbs up. Thank you for watching this video all the way through to the end. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel to see more like this, and I'll see you again on the next.